Oh, hello. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Rob Tart. This is my cow, Fluffy, and you're watching Pie's Perspective. All right, Fluffy, we gotta go. People are waiting on us. Fluffy? A man named John Finch from Wilmington, Delaware, broke into a home to perform a burglary. Now, the home that he broke into was a home that he had previously burglarized. He entered the home through a rear window. Now, the story I read said that he was in the home for a few days, so I can only guess that the occupants were away. In the few days that he was there, he decided to take advantage of the homeowner's liquor supply. The burglar drank 3 bottles of gin and 2 bottles of whiskey. He decided it was time to depart, but he was too inebriated to climb out of the window that he used to enter the house with. He may have tried the door at that point, but there was an issue with the door, an issue that was a result of his last burglary. The homeowner replaced all the locks on the doors. The locks that he installed required a key to unlock the door, both on the inside and the outside. Unable to leave the premises, the man decided he needed help, so he called 911 and was consequently arrested. Similar to last week's story, there are just some things you shouldn't do when you're burglarizing a home. Now, in this case, the occupants weren't home, but that still doesn't give you a green light to be a dullard. Consuming alcohol or anything mind-altering is a no-no. This guy had to know that consuming 5 bottles of liquor could affect his ability to make intelligent decisions. Mind you, after the first bottle, you're probably too liquored up to realize that the second bottle was probably just a bad idea. I would have liked to have been there when the guy came out of his drunken stupor in his jail cell. The officer explains to him what he did and how he got caught, and the prisoner would be like, "I did what? I called who?" When I'm before the judge, I think I'm going to plead drunken stupidity. Some other things that you shouldn't do when you're burglarizing a home: don't sign the guest book with your real name. If you really need to sign it, just sign it, your friendly neighborhood burglar. Don't do a load of laundry. If the homeowner comes home in the middle of the spin cycle, you'll have to flee the area naked. Don't check your Facebook account on their laptop unless you plan to steal the laptop. If you find a camcorder, resist the urge to tape yourself dancing unless you plan to steal the camcorder as well. If you play a video game, don't enter your name in the high score table. Don't steal your neighbor's dog and take it for a walk the next day. I think that one's pretty self-explanatory. Alright, who wants ice cream? We have the thumbs upsicle, the subscribe-sicle, the 3-flavor fave-sicle, and the comment on a stick. Please help yourself to anything you like. A few hundred people in Berlin decided to organize a huge snowball fight. The snowball fight was organized using the internet and pitted one district in Berlin against the other. So it was sort of like a gang rumble, but instead of using shanks and bricks, they used snowballs. Now, a couple of police officers were investigating what they believed to be a brawl. When they approached the snow brawl, a group of 25 youths asked them to leave. Now, the police refused, so the youths attacked them with snowballs. The crowd of youths quickly grew to 40, which is a whole lot of snowballs. Now, the police initially retreated, but then fought back using pepper spray. As you can imagine, this caused the youths to flee. The story goes on to say that many of the youths were later arrested. I'm not sure what the charge was: assaulting a police officer with a snowball. I wonder how much jail time you get for that. When your other prison mates ask you what you're in for, you can tell them that you're in for assaulting a cop. This will gain you some immediate acceptance amongst your fellow inmates. Then you tell them it was with a snowball, and your sudden rise in respect just melts away, resulting in mean looks and whispers of, "Let's wait till he goes to sleep." Now, what about these cops? I mean, did they really need pepper spray to disperse this crowd? I mean, I can understand if it was bottles or rocks, but snowballs? I mean, why not take it one step further and call in the SWAT team? Position snipers on the roofs to shoot the snowballs out of the hands of anyone about to launch an attack. I wonder when it was all over if the cops actually recovered any weapons. Bag up some snowballs and snowball fragments for evidence. Maybe have forensics match one of the snowballs to one of the suspect's mittens. I think these youths should have thought ahead. The first thing they should have done was stockpile snowballs so they wouldn't have had to waste time creating them in the heat of battle. The next thing you want to do is set up defensive fortifications like snow walls and snow forts. And last but not least, you want to make sure you're wearing body armor. And in the case of a snowball fight, that's just a really thick snowsuit. Today's question of the day is, name some other things that a burglar should probably avoid doing when he's burglarizing a home. You know, things that could potentially lead to his arrest. Anyway, that's all I have for this week. Thanks for tuning in. And remember, it's not necessarily right or wrong. It's just my perspective. Alright, Fluffy, can we go now? I'm getting kind of tired. Hya, mule, hya! Hello, Fluffy, hello. He entered the home through a rear window. Fence were away for a bit. He decided it was time to depart. The locks he had installed required a key. Unable to leave the premises. Now, similar to last week's story, there are just some things this guy had to know that consuming 5 bottles of liquor could seriously. Help me remember what I was going to say. Drunken stupor in his jail. A few hundred people in Berlin and pitted one district in Berlin. The crowd of youths quickly, as you can imagine, this cost the youths Youths. I mean, why not take it one step? The first thing they should have done was snock.